Hi, today's lesson's on solving radical equations. To solve a radical equation with one radical in it, basically we solve for the radical and then we go from there. So I'm going to add one first. Now to get rid of a square root or radical, we square. So we get x plus 5 equals 16. And so x would equal 11. And that's it. 11, if the answer, you plug it back in and makes a negative, it is no solution, by the way. So this one, same thing with the cube root. You just subtract 2 and then cube both sides. So x equals 8. Same story. With x's, if it's a cube root, it can be anything, positive, negative, anything. It's just the square roots you got to be very careful with. Go ahead and try this problem. Try this problem. Okay, let's go ahead and rewrite a formula. In other words, we're going to solve for y. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to cross multiply by 2 because we can't mess with the radical till it is by itself. And now we're going to square both sides. So we get 4x squared equals y minus 220. And then we add 220 over. And we're done. It is solved for y. So let's talk about extraneous solutions. We can identify if one is or not. So we can start off by just solving it. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to square both sides. So we get 3x minus 2 equals x squared minus 8x plus 16. Move those over. So 0 equals x squared minus 11x plus 18. So we get x minus 9, x minus 2. So our answers are x equals 9 or x equals 2. So now what we have to do is take these and we plug them in here and see if it's true. So if we plug in 9, we get the square root of 25 equals 5, which is true. So 9 is an answer. Now if we do 2, we get the square root of 4 equals negative 2, which is not true. So your answer is only x equals 9. This one is not going to work. Go ahead and try this problem. Okay, to solve equations with rational exponents, it's really simple. We raise the other side to the reciprocal of it. So we're going to go the 2/5 on both sides. So this one we get x squared plus 5x plus 5 equals 1. Subtract 1 over. So we get x plus 4, x plus 1. So we get negative 4 and negative 1. Now, before we move on, we should plug in and check, which if you do, it ends up being good. So both of these are good answers. Okay. Same thing with this one. The way we solve this is we're going to multiply by 2 over 3 on each side. And if we do this, we get x plus 18 equals x minus 2 squared. So we just solve this like normal. Move everything over. And now we just factor. And so we get 7 and negative 2. And you plug those in and they will work. So we'll get there. Go ahead and try this problem. Now, to solve an equation with two radicals, it is a lot of work. You got to get one radical on one side, one on the other. So let's go ahead and do that. So square root of x plus 9 equals square root of 2x plus 3. And now we square both sides. So we get x plus 9 equals, first one squared, which is 2x. These two multiplied together and doubled, so plus 6 square root of 2x plus 9. Now we take things that are not radicals and move them over. So we get negative x, and the 9's cancel. So we're left with 6 square root of 2x. And now from here, probably the easiest way is to go ahead and we could divide and make a fraction, but it'd be easier just to square it. So let's square both sides. So we get x squared equals 6 times 6 is 36 times 2 is 72x. And now we move that over. Bring out the x. So my answers are 0 and 72. Now, if we plug this in, plug in 0, we see that it is true. If we plug in 72, though, what happens is this becomes negative, and it ends up being negative 3, so this is not a solution. So you must check at the end. Go ahead and try this problem. Try this problem.